This is the 2024 Hyundai Sonata in the SEL trim, and this thing is going to give the Toyota Camry a run for its money. Starting off at the front here, we have a 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine with 180 horsepower and 194 pound-feet of torque. Now let's get a closer look at the redesign. Starting off at the front here, we have some very cool and unique daytime running lights that spans the width of the front bumper. We have this very nice, premium, sort of sporty looking grille. We have some redesigned rims and very sleek body lines. Let's just do a walk around of the car for you guys here. Very nice. Let's head over to the back again. The back replicates the front with this bumper width LED strip. We have a section here for the turn signals. Let's pop the trunk for you guys. All right, now let's pop the trunk for you guys. The trunk in this thing is very impressive. It honestly goes quite deep. Looking at it from a top perspective, it doesn't seem like it would go that far in, but it really does. New to the 2024 model is a hand grip. In the 2023 and prior models, there was no grip here. You kind of had to shut it from the top, but now we can pull down from here. This car in particular does come with the cargo net, as well as a first aid kit and some carpeting. I'm gonna pop these so we can take a look at total cargo capacity. Before we do that, take a look at the back seat space here. Just like with the other new redesigned Hyundais, we have this nice curve in the seats, decent legroom for a mid-size sedan. Let's pop this down. As you can see, the seat lays entirely flat, which is very impressive. This seat, for some reason, does not. The seatbelt isn't preventing this. It has plenty of slack, so I'm not entirely sure why that one doesn't lay completely down, though my guess would be the cup holder. But we have this nice slant here so things can go smoothly over into the seats. Let's pop these things back up. And by the way, as you saw, I will have numbers somewhere up in this corner talking about the cargo capacity and things like that. Now let's hop in the back here. Something to note, I am 6'1", and I am mostly legs, so keep that in mind when I discuss the rear seating arrangement. So the rear seats are honestly very comfortable. For a mid-size sedan, this provides quite a lot of legroom. In my driving position, I like my seat back further for my legs. So even with this seat almost completely back, I have a decent amount of room for my knees. My feet are the most constrained. I sort of have to sit completely straight to get more foot room. But even slouching, I am quite comfortable and could probably ride in here for a couple hours. Sitting up completely straight, where I am at my tallest, I have quite a lot of headroom, about an inch or so. And when slouching, I get about 2 to 3 inches. Back here we have 2 USB Type-C ports for charging your phone. No rear storage in the center console, though we do have a slim door card here for maybe a small plastic water bottle or some snacks, as well as a tiny bit here where you could place your phone if you weren't charging it. We do get a nice armrest with some cup holders, decent size cup holder with some plastic padding there as well, and a rubber stopper piece so this doesn't scrape up that plastic. Nice little storage area here. All right, let's move into the back, or rather let's move into the front. Nice solid door closing. Actually, before we walk in there, let's take a look at this sheet here. So as you can see, we get the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine. We have an 8-speed automatic, so no CVT, 17-inch alloy wheels, and some other features we'll discuss when we get into the front. We only have added features here, so we have our added accessories, rather. We have floor mat, cargo net, cargo tray, first aid kit, and mud guards. So MSRP is $27,500. We're pricing it at $29,190. All right, let's hop up in here. Check out this space. Just before I talk about anything, just take a look around. Sorry, missed something when I was cleaning up the space. All right, excellent. All right, so sitting in the front of the 2024 Sonata, you instantly notice a lot of changes from the previous model year. So starting off right at the steering wheel, the first thing you see when you sit in this car is it's an exact replica of the 2024 Kona and 2024 Kona Electric that I reviewed earlier on this channel. It's a basic steering wheel. It's 3-spoke. We have a line here with 4 dots that stands for H in Morse code. We have adaptive cruise control, and we have a self-driving mode, which really just keeps you in your lane. We have a voice assistant, which, as you can see, works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have mode for the radio, and we have pages to swap the view on the cluster. Moving from the steering wheel onto the stalks, you'll notice right here that we actually have a column shifter, if I can get it into focus, where we can shift into drive, reverse, let's see if I can get it, neutral, and park, which frees up some space down here, which we'll get back to in a moment here. Moving on from that, we have 2 12.9-inch displays. We have the driver cluster here, and we have a touchscreen here. Let's start with the driver cluster. We have this interesting design choice with the miles per hour and the RPMs, which changes depending on drive mode. Let me change that back to auto. Moving over to the touchscreen, just like any Hyundai, it is extremely responsive, extremely fast. It reacts instantly to all movements. We get access to Sirius XM with an interesting redesign where it kind of acts like Apple CarPlay. We get some other features like access to your phone, a valet mode, vehicle diagnostics, maintenance and notifications, and a setup menu. So you can change all of these things with honestly quite a lot of different customization options. And of course, as mentioned before, we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Moving down a little bit here is where we start to notice a lot more changes. We have new buttons here, which are sort of a slim profile. So they take up less space. They add a more, I would say, maybe not unique, but a more esteemed, more VIP feeling to the car. We have metal knobs, metal on the top, and then we actually have a plastic wrap or a rubber wrap around it to add some grippiness to the knobs, and that is the same for the tune knob. Moving down over here, we have our HVAC controls. So we have, again, metal on the top. We have a screen that displays the temperature. And we have a rubber coating around it for ease of grip. It's very tactile. It's hard to demonstrate in the video, but you can feel it sort of click into place each level you go. So it's not hard to get a specific temperature. We have heated seats, 3 levels of heated seating. This is a capacitive screen, so it doesn't react to you touching. There's no input. It just makes a noise, and as you can see, it lights up. Moving down here, we have 2 USB Type-C and a 12-volt 180-watt power supply as well. We have a nice little storage area for a phone or some keys or really whatever you want to put down there, with some rubber grip to prevent sliding while you're driving. On a different trim level, we do have a wireless charger here. Moving down to some buttons here, we have a drive mode selector, auto hold, and access to the backup camera. Drive modes, we have 2 drive modes with 1 sort of drive mode. So we have normal, sport, and my drive. Now, if we quickly go into our setup, vehicle, drive mode, we will get access to the My Drive mode, which gives you the ability to change some things. So we can change powertrain to normal, sport, or smart, and then change the steering to normal or sport. Beyond all of that, we have some cup holders here. They fit pretty much any size cup you're looking for, except for maybe some very big bottles. As you can see, the front is bigger than the rear, so the front you'll be able to fit a lot more than you would back here. We have a little section right here for really anything you want, though I found putting your phone there can be pretty useful. We have this nice little armrest, wrist rest mounting situation here. So if I just put my hand here, you kind of do one-handed steering, and then you have a hand here, and you can kind of just grip it, or you can have your buttons near the drive mode, or just rest it here so you can have your elbow over here. This is all faux leather. It's Hyundai's H-Tex leatherette. It's the same material they use in their seats on their limited trims. Pushing open this, I do have some junk in here. Let's just move that out. We have physical keys here. We have a decent amount of storage room. As you saw, I fit some gloves and a rag. I honestly could probably fit maybe a small plastic water bottle, a 16-ounce bottle. I could fit, a variety of things in here. And it is just a button that you hit that lifts it up. Again, this is the SEL trim, so there's not a lot crazy going on here. As soon as we get an N-Line or a Limited, and later this year when we get a hybrid model, I will be sure to review that on the channel. So for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this car for a spin back to the dealership so you guys can kind of get a feel for how it drives. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try this driving out. Put the keys there. We're gonna put this as normal. And let's pull out of here. Actually, we're gonna go this way so you guys can kind of get a longer driving experience. Switch this into sport. Put that back into normal. So you hear a bit of pumped in audio from the car. Pumped in audio I find very satisfying. It makes you feel like you're driving a more aggressive car, but only in sport mode, which I think matches the mode perfectly. So unfortunately we got stuck in some traffic here, but that's all right. You kind of get a feel of day-to-day traffic. I'm gonna try to minimize some of my comments just so you guys can get a feel for the quietness of this cabin. As you saw there, it thought I was getting too close to that car, so it did pop up a warning for us. We're gonna go this way. I don't want to go on a too far of a ride because this is a dealership car, so we're kind of just going to go around the block so you can get a feel of how the cabin sounds, sort of how it drives, and then we'll bring it right back around. There's a construction sign right in my way, so I can't see traffic, which is always brilliant. Very aggressive. All right, let's switch back into sport mode. It handles very nicely. All right, we're gonna head back to the dealership now. We're gonna pull in and I'll actually give you a little taste of the backup camera to show you what that looks like when you're using it day to day, and I'll cycle through the options that are available. There's 3 of them, which we'll show real quick, and then we'll end this drive and the review. Honestly, if I were to give my own personal opinion on this vehicle, I would say it is an enjoyable ride. You know, it's a vehicle that's priced at about 30 grand. It's 29 and some change, so it's nothing, you know, it's nothing crazy. The suspension isn't super crazy or anything like that, but it's definitely comparable to the Toyota Camry, the Honda Accord, and the Nissan Maxima, I believe. I'm not too familiar with Nissan's lineup, so and perhaps the Sentra, I'm not entirely sure, but definitely to the Toyota Camry and the Honda Accord. All right, this is our parking spot, so let's just slide right in here. We'll go into reverse, and we get a very nice, very responsive backup camera. And while we're here, let's give you a taste of this one, which is a top-down view. It shows the road here, and then we get a wide-angle lens, which is more for checking your blind spots than it is for backing up, because it doesn't give you the guides. Now let's pull forward so we can line ourselves up with the other Sonata. Perfect. All right, and just to give you guys one more look at these cameras when I'm not backing up, here is the regular view that reacts to your steering wheel. Here is a top-down view, which, as you can see with this line, also reacts to your steering wheel, but it gives you a better view of what you may be going over. And then a 360 view, which allows you to see more of each side of the car in case you're worried a kid or a dog or something might be around, and you don't want to hit them, obviously. And just for a quick comparison, Sonata, old Sonata. These are 2023s, and that is a 2024.